Is Andre Blais, who comes from Lac Megantic. Andre, thank you for being with us tonight.
Thanks.
And the reason why we asked you in is because you are heading up the Sentiers Frontaliers, which are the trails along the border from Woburn to Chartierville, right along the international border, but they also go up Mount Gosford and Mont-Mégantic. There's, what is it, 164 kilometers of trails or something like that?
It's 135 kilometers of trail.
135 kilometers.
Yes, yes.
So that would
in
be
miles, it maybe
about 80 miles.
80 miles
Right.
with all the side trails all together. Yes.
So thank you so much for coming
Yes.
down, Andre. I'm glad they
That's
let you through, even though they questioned what you're doing down here.
It's a pleasure.
I think a lot of folks are not aware of that whole trail system. Can you give us a little bit of information about it? And Andy can probably put the websites up too, so
Okay.
he can help us tell people.
Okay, so Sentiers Frontaliers has been created in 1995. So we started around the Mont-Mégantic and Marble Mountain, Montagne de Marbre. From that point, then we kept on going east to Mount Gosford, and to Mount Gosford down to the border at Coburn Gore. Afterwards, like in around 2000, we went towards the west side, so like to Mount Durban and then to Chartierville. Chartierville is where the New Hampshire border is, and we have been connected ourselves with the Cohos Trail. Goes down to the Appalachian Trail, of course.
And how long has that trail been there? The Cohos Trail.
The Cohos Trail. It's how long is it? It's 164 miles.
How many years has it been there? Was that already there
it's
when
quite
you guys
no, it wasn't there at all.
Right.
It's quite new. I think let's see, around 2005, I guess, and
Right.
they connected with us in 2009. Yes,
Right.
yes.
So that is part of the big picture.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I wanted you down here was not only because the cool trails that are in Quebec, but you've got the trails in Quebec. New Hampshire has the Cohos Trail, and we all have the Appalachian Trail that goes from Crawford Notch, where the Cohos Trails comes in over in the Whites, to up here where the Appalachian Trail comes through from Rangeley through Wyman, up Bigelow, and beyond.
Yeah.
So ideally, we would like to see the Arnold Trail be a hiking trail from Wyman Appalachian Trail up to your trails right there on the border in Coburn Gore, Woburn, which is a pretty exciting project. Hopefully, we'd like to see happen in the next very near future.
Oh, we'll see how it will be going with all the rights of way to sign and all the. It's quite a long project. You have a land acquisition to develop too. I know that the Arnold Expedition Historical Society is working hard on having some maybe some land to be preserved, so they can have some historic sites along the trail. So before we get a foot trail from Stratton up to Coburn Gore, I don't know if it will be possible, but we could have some part of the trail of the Arnold Trail, like a nice foot path eventually.
So how did you make all of it happen in Quebec?
In Quebec, it was a long time ago when I was hiking with my father Katahdin in the late 60s. So I was like a teenager, and when we drove back and we arrived in Lac Megantic, we have some hills. We don't have big mountains like Katahdin. Well, I said to myself, why not having some hiking trails around? We have nice mountains. So it started like within the teenager dream, and then we worked hard with some friends, and in 1995 we got incorporated and we created the Sentiers Frontaliers.
So you are like a non-profit organization
Of
that
course.
you started just to do this particular project.
Yes, and
it's ongoing.
Yes, it's ongoing, of
Right.
course. Yes, well, most of the land that we are hiking through is public lands. Around 75 to 80% of the land, the trails are on public lands.
So that would have been a big help because you didn't have to acquire all the land that you're dealing with.
Yes,
Right.
and the other 20%, so we have to sign rights of way to hike there. Yes.
So do you have easements from private property owners on those particular bits of
No,
land?
we don't have any easements, it's just rights of way.
Okay.
Yeah, and on public lands, we had the possibility to build some lean-tos and some camping sites. So in all, we have 4 lean-tos. Mostly, we have 2 in the Gosford, Mont-Gosford area, and we have 2 more elsewhere, like around the foot of Marble Mountain, and 1 near Chartierville too. There's a lean-to there, and of course we have 10 platforms around maybe 10 miles, 10 miles or so.
So every 10 miles, you've got a platform
or a lean-to.
Or a lean-to.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yes, a bit like in the Appalachian Trail. Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to pack your tent, just your sleeping bag.
Yeah, sleeping bag, and you hope, hopefully, that you don't have don't have to arrive with the lean-to or the platform full.
Right. How busy are these places in the summertime, especially?
Summertime, Mount Gosford, you have to make some reservation there because it's like
that busy.
It is busy indeed, and like in the winter time too, during the winter season, plenty of people during the weekends that are making reservations. So
cross-country skiing and snowshoeing?
Mostly snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing.
Mostly a bit of cross-country, cross-country skiing, maybe a little bit, just to get to the trails. Some people cross-country because you have a gravel road, and you arrive at the trails a little bit faster this way.
Right. You see, Andy's been putting up all of these pictures. Now he's showing some winter pictures. So this is the trails are a year-round attraction.
Yes,
really.
a year-round. But there are not around Mount Gosford and Marble Mountain. There are quite many people going hiking or snowshoeing in those places. But elsewhere, it's quite wild country. So you have to be careful not to follow a moose track, and you have to keep your head up and follow our signs.
So you don't get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Our signs are like a little red triangle or blue triangle for side trails.
Right.
Yeah.
And you do all of this as on a volunteer basis? What, does everybody come out in the springtime and do the trail cleanup and all of that?
Yes, the trail maintenance or cleanups, we have maybe 5 to 10 maintenance or cleanup by year, mostly 10. We are starting like in the middle of May, and each 2 weeks we have cleanup in the trails now.
Do you do it section by section?
Yes, section by section.
So how much time does that take to get it all done?
Okay, it takes 2 years to 2 or 3 years to make it the old system, the 8 mile system. It all depends of the years. It can be 3 years, can be 2 years, but around 3 years, I should say.
And you've been going long enough now that you know what works and what doesn't work, so you kind of have the whole system down.
Yeah.
Knock on
so
wood.
We're still, knock on wood. We still have some work to be done. Like we would like to have some bridges at some places, because we at some places we have 2 rivers to cross by foot. We have to take our boots off and cross the river. Elsewhere, where there are stream or rivers, there are small bridges.
So what do you do when you get to something that takes that would require buying lumber or,
yes, of course,
something like that? So do you have to find somebody to donate the lumber, or do you fundraise to get the lumber? How does that work?
Yeah, but I guess both.
Everything.
Yes, both of them. Yeah, fundraising and maybe some donations. Yeah,
right.
All together. So.
And for a specific project, do you try to get to that project and then say on such and such a date we're all going to get together and build a bridge that day? Is that how it works?
It could be that way. It could like the bridges we built in Mount Gosford. It was like a fundraising project with the government. And that was a little bit easier. We hired some kind of field contractors, so and with some volunteers, we went there to help build the bridges.
What kind of contribution, when you say the government, are we talking the provincial government?
Yes, the provincial government, yeah.
And how do they contribute?
Oh, it was mainly during the first years. During the first years, when we started, the their contribution was up to 90% of the cost.
Oh, wow.
And then it came down a few years to maybe it was 50%. But they helped us a lot at the beginning just to start the whole project.
Did they do that because they saw the trails as an economic development project,
Yeah.
or did they do it because it was an environmental project, or what
I
was
guess
their
both.
reason?
There were both reasons. Both like it was a sustainable development project. It was like developing ecotourism in the area. So Mount Gosford was in 1989. There was a huge project like building a big downhill ski station,
Right.
but finally didn't work out.
Right.
So we arrived, we presented something else, an alternative project. So they said, oh, that's something that will last and that doesn't cost much money. So we preserve the mountain, and then we preserve we maintain the good health of the people around in the tourism industry too.
Everybody wins.
Yes,
All
of
the
course.
creatures
Yes.
and us.
Yes,
And the
indeed.
mountains as
Yes,
well.
yeah.